I'm just like telling anybody listening to this that if you have something that you really want, it's not hurting anybody, you're not killing anybody, really want it, have no shame. Talk about it. Social media is like the fastest place to get what you want. If there was no social media, I know the amount of experience where I will need get before I get to talk to that man, right? But social media is more like a leveling ground. So if you have what you want, employ strategies like ask people for how you can actually get to where you want to get to, because at the end of the day, everybody in this life we came alone, right? People will always tell you, this idea is foolish, it's stupid, but now you know wetin you dey find. So in fact, don't listen to what people have to say. Abeg, if you have what you want to do in your mind, maybe what you should try to do is to have a plan and a strategy, right? For when the plan A, if the plan A does not work, okay, what do I have to do next? But if it's the one that you will not be listening to, you never even registered, you never start. You have not started. Okay, I am Favour. I am, and I'm from Delta State, Nigeria, and I think this really contributed to who I am basically because I grew up with my grandmother. I'm a very, very old person. Forget how young I am. I'm a very old person, and I think that is because of the part of the world that I grew up from. So yes, I'm from Delta State. My father is from Urobo, Wari, Udu local government area, and my mom, she's an Ukwani woman. So I grew up in the, should I say, southern part of Nigeria, but in the Upani speaking community. Yes. So yeah, Favour this yeah. But you can call me Mwafego. That's my native name. Yes, that's who I am. You know, if you ask me this question a month ago, I'll be very sure about what I do. But then, so I'm kind of reevaluating what I really am. You know, I'm looking for a sustainable solution or a sustainable type to become myself, so to say. But I've passed that stage. So if you ask me now, what do you do? I'll tell you that I would love to help businesses, right? Small businesses and even established businesses further register their business online, on the online space, digital space. That is what I want to be doing now. You can call it branding, but I see it beyond just branding. So that is why I cannot give you a title, but that's just more like the explanation. So that is what I want to help them do. From the goals that they want to smash, investors, customers, whoever, I want to assist them to that. So that is what I want to do. Okay, I strongly believe that life is quite unfair. Like for every individual, there will be a point in your life and you'll be like, this life, I don't suffer. Please, the life is good, very strong. But I still believe that amidst any situation that we find ourselves in, we can get ourselves outside of that situation. Because, like I said, I grew up in a community, everybody knows everybody, you know, and the people that were actually wealthy and prominent, they did not live in the community. They were just sons and daughters of the community, and they come every Christmas and all of that. So the if you know that you are going to be great, you might not really see how it will happen, because you will not have the community, you will not have so many people to inspire you in that community. The only people that are there are agberos, people that sell groceries. Like, the environment is stifling. So I always use myself as the point of contact. I found myself in that community, right? I attended the best school there, and that school actually helped me a whole lot. I'm not going to lie. But then I've always had this mindset that people, you don't have any excuse, right? Um, if you're going on the same journey with somebody that is privileged, right, and yourself, the only difference would be, okay, you did not have that platform that privileged person had, but you also make it. Maybe that person will get to where you want to get to in 5 years. Your own can take you 7, 8 years, but it does not still matter. Just continue going, regardless of how unfair life seems to be. So my philosophy about life is to get yourself outside of any situation that you don't like yourself to be in, regardless of the environment that you find yourself. Hey, you cannot be with me for 3 hours and not smile and not laugh. I don't know. I'm a very funny person. Another thing I will try to pursue after I've gotten money, stand up comedy. I think, I think I'm good with stand up comedy, but so many people don't know about it, because you will not see it when I'm writing. You will not see it when I'm writing, but if you've spoken to me before on the phone, you know that this girl is a very unserious person. I think that is what so many people don't know about me. And that's the only fun thing about me, because I don't love going out. That's the only thing that I think so many people don't know about me.
Hello! So, 60% of those who visit this channel are not subscribed. Are you one of them? Come on! Anyways, I know you forgot, right? So now I'm here to remind you to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't have to miss any of our episodes, alright? Now, let us dive into today's episode and I'll see you on the other side. All right, guys, look at me all smiling because the introduction that Favour gave us is like, I'm not understanding what's going on here. You can already see that she loves to talk, right? So now you are ready for the main story. But I love how she kind of answered those introductory questions. She didn't really just say, oh, this. She brought a personality into it. And now I am even more inquisitive to know, okay, what is the real story behind this young girl? Now, I remember when she was introducing herself, telling us about, where she grew up in Delta State. She's like, she's an old person, but in a young body. Let us unpack that as we get to meet her in more close or more up close and personal. Now, Favour, thank you for being here. I'll take it from that statement you said that you're an old person, even though you're young. How old are you, first of all?
I'm 18. I'll be 19 June this year.
You are 18. You'll be 19 June 2023. Wow. Wow. Guys, okay, let me give you guys a background on who Favour is. And I love the fact that she brought it from, she was open about her current phase that she's in regarding what she does. I love it, right? This is also to show you the simplicity and the vulnerability and the authenticity of the kind of person that she is. Knowing that right now, the fact that she's granting an interview doesn't really equal to, oh, I have to be all cool, collected, prim and proper. She was just like, you know what, I'm still figuring things out. But let me tell you something about her before we get into the story. Of course, I'll let you hear from her directly, but I want to give you an overview of what I have, the perception I have of her on LinkedIn. Now, this young lady, she's just 19 this year, but she's been on LinkedIn for like over a year, and she has helped hundreds of people gain visibility on LinkedIn. She has worked with hundreds of people to help them with their businesses, right? I've even been a part of one of our visibility challenge on LinkedIn, and I know the amount of results I got. This means she was only 18 when she did all of this. And now she's like, I'm taking break to just kind of refigure out what I want to do. And she's like, okay, I think I figured out what I want to do next. It might not be what I will do forever, but like next, this is what I want to do. And I'm so interested and I feel more inspired by her story because the reason I brought her on this show was because every time she made a post on LinkedIn about a result in a space of 1 year, I'm like, God, am I a tree? You know how people will say, you know how people will see couples goals on social media. I'm like, God, am I a tree? Am I a cow? Now, even these things they're having couple. Anyways, that by the way, is that every time I see her post, every time she shows up sharing her results, it inspires me. And which was why I wanted to bring her on the show to say, come closer. Tell us, because there must be the stretch part of your story that a lot of us don't see. And that's what we want to delve into. So, first of all, now you are going to be 19 this year. Before now, so that means you started on LinkedIn around when you were 16, thereabouts.
I started 3 months before my 16th birthday.
What gave you why did you choose LinkedIn of all places at 16 when LinkedIn is for professionals? What were you thinking?
Okay, see, I'm going to be very truthful here. But when I was 16, I've already started writing for money, right? I've already started writing for money. In fact, I used to make 500,000 naira with my other boss then at that age. Depends on the amount of work that you do in a month. So I wanted to stop working for him. In fact, I've already told him that I beg, if you like say this work, I don't go fit to again, because it was the workload was so intensive. And forget that I'm calling 500,000 naira. It's nothing compared to the amount of work that I do. So I had to tell him that I'm going to stop. But I had one obstacle. I didn't know how to get this client by myself because it was more like middleman. So he gets the client and then outsource it to me, that kind of thing. So I went on Google and then I searched, where can I find writing jobs? I saw Fiverr, I saw Upwork. I all the accounts there, I opened everything. It was just straight for me. I will stay 10 days, nothing. And I went to one platform that they call freelancer. I got scammed. Yeah. It was a family project. I had to wake my mother around 2 a.m. to please put on the dress so that I will charge my phone and complete the work and then submit. So I submitted around 4 a.m. and then till today I've not heard from the person. So I stopped for a while and then I went to Google again and then I saw LinkedIn. I said, okay, let me try. Well, what will happen? Should they have already scammed me before? It's not the first time that I will be scammed. So I went to LinkedIn, opened an account, and then the first person's post that I saw was Tony's post. I've already been hearing his name because my uncle is a politician. So people like Ned Moko, Tony Elumelu, I used to hear their names, but I've not really seen them before. You know, Tony Elumelu is from Delta State. I've not really seen them before. I saw this one post. I'm like, people, where are you? Where are you? Where Tony Elumelu is making posts. That is why I say he wants to come and look for a job. First of all, I first of all kept my phone. I say, I beg, I don't go check this thing. Let me wait for God to give me direction. So the next 3 days, I went back because why? I was seeing that I was getting low on funds, right? I also saw testimonials of people getting jobs from LinkedIn. I said, okay, let me try and see now. You know? So the next thing that gave me problem was not knowing the niche of writing that I was going to delve into. So when I was writing for that other guy, I knew I was creative, but I did not know what I was actually doing. I did not know if it was ghostwriting, content writing. So when I went to LinkedIn, I'm seeing content writer, copywriter. I'm like, what is this one? Writer is writer, not writer, you know. Hey God, I was so confused. I was so confused. I'm not going to lie. So I went to Google again. Who is a content writer? I said she. So at that particular point, what resonated with me was content writing. I did not know how to write content to sell, but I knew how to write content for a 5-year-old to understand. So I went with content writing. I paid for a LinkedIn course. At that point, what was left in my account was 7,000 naira. I paid for a LinkedIn class, master class, a 5 days master class, 5,000 naira. I paid. She taught us profile optimization. I optimized my profile. I started putting out posts. No clients. It's a pain. What is all these things? What is happening? So I posted one article about the economic state in Nigeria. I posted the article and I saw one China man. He came to my DM that he would love me to write an article similar to what I posted, right? And he's going to pay me $500, non-negotiable. I first of all went to Google. How much is $500 in naira? I said, Jesus Christ. I said, Jesus Christ, this man wants to scam me. This man knows that I have longer throat. He wants to scam me. If not, how can you pay somebody $500 for a 500-word article? Something that my former boss used to pay me 2,000 naira for a 3,500-word article. How is that even possible? I was so convinced that this man, they sent this man to scam me. But then I was like, 500 words, what do I have to lose? Maybe I've already written 2,000 word article. If I see my money, I don't see my money. Let me just accept this one. And then I told him, okay, what do you want? And I created that article in 30 minutes. Like I said, I've already been under pressure. So writing content was like nothing to me.
It's
He
like
saw this
second
content and he was
nature to
like,
you. Hmm.
exactly. He saw the content and he was like, you created this just now. I said, yes, so that what is remaining is for you to approve it, give me my money. I was just putting that, give me my money, because I was so convinced that you will not understand. I was so convinced that he was going to scam. If he had offered me 5,000 naira, it would have been more believable. So he said, okay, that I like the content, it's just going to add some few touches and then get back to me. He did that. When I saw the money in my account, do you know what I did? I immediately went to the ATM, withdrew all the money.
Before the money will disappear.
You don't know. You don't know. It was just like a miracle. That man does not know what he did for me. I'm telling you the truth. I withdrew the money and then I sent some to my mom. My mom was saying, Favour, so wait, they fit make this kind of money from online. I think say na scam. I say, mom, even me
Okay.
sef,
Okay,
even me,
Favor, let me
even me.
pause you. Let me pause you there, Favor, because this is getting interesting. Now,
Okay.
you wow. So you did this. You call how did first of all, at that time, when you were working with your former boss, did you set up like an account to get money from international bodies?
Okay, so I started writing for my former boss when I was 15. I had an uncle that worked with Zenith Bank, so he opened an account for me. You know, you cannot open an account when you're under it. I don't know how it went through, but it happened.
So
So
you had a
I already
domiciliary
have
account, yeah?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So
Okay.
for that
Okay.
foreign account, I have to give my client my IBAN code to send it to I think the Zenith Bank representative in that side. Yeah, so before my account officer did the exchange, I don't know what they did. They did the exchange and all of that. The money landed into my
In your
account.
account. Okay. Second question before you go on with your story. You were 15. So when did you finish secondary school? And when did you start to write?
Okay, I started writing when I was in SS2 in secondary school. SS2. So the first term when I started that thing, because I used to top my class. So when I started writing, because of the workload and all of that, I dropped to third position. Right? I dropped. It didn't pay me. It didn't pay me. I was so sad. And then the second term, I knew that I had to find a system that will not make both my business and school suffer.
So far.
So the second term, I went to first position again, you know. So more like that third position was a rude awakening for me to find a balance. Mm, yes.
Wow. And all this
And
while you were in Delta states, not even Lagos. So,
yes.
okay.
No.
Go on with your story,
No.
please.
I've been remember, my mom, she's more like a salesperson. So I follow her to all these things. You don't take away also in my eye. You don't want to be sincere with you. But I knew that I did not like manual jobs. I knew that I did not like to sell provision, POS, and all of that. I just needed something that would not stress me too much. And that was why I went the digital route. Yeah.
I mean, your story is quite interesting. And so after this encounter with the Chinese man on LinkedIn, within your first couple of months on LinkedIn, right?
3 weeks.
3 weeks on
3 weeks.
LinkedIn. And your first article was what opened the door for you. Right. So coming back to talking about some of the challenges that you encountered, you've already highlighted some initially why you even chose the digital space in the first place. But then now that you're on LinkedIn online and you've had a taste like, oh, wow, okay, so even though I've been scammed before, there are actually real people that can pay me for the work that I do online. What are some challenges that then you then face that you can share with us and the lessons you learned from them?
Every day, as an entrepreneur, we face challenges. Let's not deceive ourselves here. Sometimes I just look at my ceiling and I'm like, hey, who sent me? Who sent me? Who sent me? My mates are there enjoying their life. I'm inside my house. What am I doing? You know, I don't really have friends because none of them can actually relate. You just be seeing like this. I'll be thinking of how I can make millions from a lunch. Nobody can relate. So I don't really have friends. I'm trying to work on that. But this school that I am, you cannot relate. What would be two of us this? What are we going to talk about if we don't have similar things that we love? So it's becoming hard for me. That is number one. You don't have friends. And it's very good in this life to have friends so that life will become bearable for you small. That's the truth. So the second one again is after you've put everything, money, time, resources into a particular campaign and then it flops. You just be like, who can send me now? This is what I'm going to do. Who send me? And you'll be very, very surprised that that money that you were supposed to do something very tangible. It's okay. Let me put it inside business. The thing will give me times two of the money, and then it will not work that way. You do. In fact, you see, this last year, I think it's nothing to be ashamed about. I've been depressed more times than I can count.
Hmm.
When I talk to my brother, what I was saying, I wait till they think. Be small picking though. But what I'm carrying inside my head is quite overwhelming. So
Hmm.
the lesson, so to say, I would just say try to take things easy. You know, let's try to not beat ourselves up too much. Life is life. We will have goals, but if we don't beat them, tomorrow still day. There's still tomorrow. In fact, just try as much as possible to derive happiness in the littlest things. Music. If you like to work out, work out, but me, I cannot. So it's music. So it's music. And just try to be happy inside of you. Because if you are not, I don't even think there's any amount of money that you see right now that will be enough for you to make you happy. So I've told myself this year, people try to be more happy, try to be more happy. Because one of the challenges that I've dealt with is when when I have high hopes and then the day will come, I will never even reach 1%. It makes me so depressed because I'm a very ambitious person.
Mm.
So right now, I'm trying to let myself know that things may not work out the way I plan it. And it's not my fault.
Mm.
It's not my
There are
fault. The
different
universe self,
factors.
exactly. The universe does not hate me. Worst things could have happened. So let me just embracing things as it happened like that. That's okay. What's the next step to take? I
Or
take it. If the
how
thing
can
self
we
still
prevent it from happening like that again?
eh,
What can we do better?
so if we still do that one, it did not still work again, you try again. You see, this life is not really hard. Let's not just be too hard on ourselves. That is just what
Ourselves.
I would say. So one of the
So,
major challenges is that one, high expectations. The second one again is prior to when I came to social media, I used to talk, but it's in my family circle. I've not been so open to criticism from outsiders. So when I started posting and then I'll see trolls, it used to make me feel bad. I don't know how to respond. So it was more like the first time I was receiving public trolling, public criticism. Hey, it was one time that it was trending that I was lying about my age, you know. And then I did not know how to do myself. I felt so bad because I always had this rosy thoughts about social media. That oh, social media, they'll be cuddling you. Nobody, nobody will drag you. Eh? As I enter LinkedIn, even that LinkedIn, they used to drag people. They used to drag people. It's you that is inside the shoe that you know. So once that dragging happened, I was like, so even if you don't do people anything, they will just carry you in their mind like that. So I have to resign to that fact. I have to let myself know that not everybody will like you. No matter how funny you are, no matter how not everybody will like you, please. So if that kind of thing happen, don't expect it. If it happens, you brush it away like it's nothing. And that one is another one again. And
wow.
then there was also a time when people that I looked up to started throwing shades that I was doing too much. How
Mm.
can you be telling me? Do you know where I'm coming from? Do you know? You don't know where I'm coming from. You're telling me I'm doing too much. If doing too much can get me to where I want to be, I will do too much because you don't know as my husband. You know? You don't know where I'm coming from. You don't know the people that are subtly relying on me. You don't know the responsibilities that I have. So you don't have any right to tell me that I'm doing too much. That time that I was gunning for Sir Tony's attention, people were like, is he the only business influencer? That kind of thing. I almost gave up. Oh. I almost gave up. I almost stopped talking about it. But then I was like, Favour, now you know what you want though. You do not discuss what you want with these guys. They don't know what you are looking for. Continue. And then I continued and then I got his attention. So what if I had stopped? Eh? Alpha,
Mm.
what would I And you know, after I got his attention, those same people came to tell me congratulations. Why? Why?
Now so human be.
Stretch Street Podcast.
I'm just like telling anybody listening to this that if you have something that you really want, it's not hurting anybody, you're not killing anybody, really want it, have no shame. Talk about it. Social media is like the fastest place to get what you want. If there was no social media, I know the amount of experience where I will need get before I get to talk to that man, right? But social media is more like a leveling ground. So if you have what you want, employ strategies like ask people, for how you can actually get to where you want to get to. Because at the end of the day, everybody in this life, we came alone, right? People will always tell you, ah, this idea is foolish, it's stupid. But now you know what you define. So, in fact, don't listen to what people have to say. Abeg, if you have what you want to do in your mind, maybe what you should try to do is to have a plan and a strategy, right? For when the plan A, if the plan A does not work, okay, what do I have to do next? Hey. But if it's the one that you will not be listening to people, never even registered, never start. You have not started. You have not, do you know that there was even a time people were trolling, they were trolling LinkedIn course creators. Course creators. They were not making people that sell their knowledge about LinkedIn feel bad. And I was like, nobody they feed me. Oh. I'm telling people to pay for my course. I'm not pointing gun to their heads. They are seeing, they are seeing what the information that I'm giving other people, and that is why they want to join. If I decide to place a price on what took me time to learn, I am not a bad person. If you don't want to pay, oh yeah now, use 1 year and that many months that I used to study the platform, use it and study it. Courses are just to accelerate your journey. It's not as if you will not find out about it in the long run. You will know. But you see that time, I want to help you to shorten the time. And you're telling me that let me not put price. You have not even started. You have not started.
Like you haven't
You have not
started
started.
yet. You see, this is another reason I'm just like inspired by you. So I feel, do you think that being with the people you worked with earlier, or like you said, even though your general community growing up did not have any of these things that you are aspiring to be, what played the role in you having this vision and having this mindset and this possibility, even though you were not in an environment that encouraged it? What was your source of inspiration to start to dream this big?
So the source of inspiration was to get my family outside of the state that we were in. So I'm not going to say that I starved. I did not starve, but I also know that we were not in a comfortable um position then, because my mom, she likes to hide things from me, when I was little, but I still know that e get as house be, and I did not want it to be like that. I don't want it to be like that. Right from when I was little, I was always so selective about the food I'll eat. Oh, I want to eat toasted bread, food that rich men children used to eat. That kind of thing. But then the funds will not be there to make it happen. I'll be like, why? I'll be so angry with all of them. Why this is why I want your power and not fit provide that for me. That kind of thing. So that was when I realized that people, you have no access, so you don't know how life you don't know how life is. So it was when I entered secondary school that I knew that life is not how I thought it to be. Because my grandmother would tell me, you, Ewu, Yemujo, let me translate this for you. Go to that sense. That sense. They go cook soup, you say they want chop soup, you say na rice, ori oshikapa, ori rice, that kind of thing. And when the kind of school that I attended, people from Lagos and Warri attended that school, like big men's children, people that worked at NNPC, all these people. So that that opened my mind, because at the end of the day, I noticed that wait, oh, these people that their parents are very rich, I see they carry first, they carry 14. How? I have to know that because we're not wealthy enough does not mean that I have to limit myself, right? How I was able to top my class, it opened my mind to the fact that I can actually get to where I want to be, regardless of the people or the circumstances that I am in right now. And funnily luckily enough, I got close to these rich kids, so to say, and I found out that their house is not as glamorous as I'm thinking it to be. Oh, you know, I was like, "Hey, hey, God forgive me. All the bad prayer I don't pray, forgive me." You know, as I talked to these guys, because I was envying them. I was envying them. People that will be spending 500 naira in a day during break periods, and I'll be feeling bad that, oh, my mommy cannot give me. I'll be talking to these people. I'll be like, "And so it be, and so it be." I started appreciating my mom more because I grew up with my mom. My mom and my dad, they are estranged, so I was literally raised by my grandmother and my mom. So my grandmother was like my father, that kind of stern and a strict and a she get am. Then my mom is the one that protects me, that kind of thing. So the school that I attended really opened my mind a whole lot. I'm not going to lie. We had the best teachers. My mother would borrow money to pay my fees. That was how, yeah. So I really think that was the first step for me. And then for this writing part, I met a teacher, Mr. Don. The man, he knows English, so he spiked my passion, my already existing passion for English. So I got closer to this man. I wrote a book. I gave him the draft. And then he was like, Favour, I love the way you write. I love the way you write. So every single test that we have, essays, examinations, I want to write the exam, not to pass it, to impress this man. The man was now my role model. He was what I wanted to be. He was not too wealthy. He was not too wealthy. Teacher now. But the knowledge that he carried in his head, I wanted to carry that much knowledge. So I started getting close to him. So it was actually the one that spiked my passion for writing because I know since that I love to write, but it was the one that actually fueled it more. So if you ask me, um, what prompted me to think about the possibilities of doing way beyond what my environment portrays, I'm going to say it's my school. I attended one of the best schools in that environment. I'm not going to lie. So my school helped a whole lot. And then the books that I read. When I was in JSS2, I read Half of a Yellow Sun by Chimamanda. It was that my teacher that gave me JSS. I didn't understand what the woman was saying though, but I read it. I read it. I read it. I understood one or two instances and all of that. The big words, I'll write it down. At some point, my classmates were seeing me as somebody that was mad because when I conversed with them, I used to use all those big grammar that I
Bring
saw in
English.
Chimamanda to intimidate them. My teacher would say that wetin person don know na im dey fear am, to intimidate them. So the books actually helped. So it was more like I was living in a different world compared to my reality. I was not just in this life, I was in another world of my own. Yes, that kind of thing.
Wow, that is so powerful. That is so, so powerful. I think you should give a shout out to your school right now. Do it. Give a shout out to your
Okay,
school so that, students of your school, if they get to see this, they can say, yes, this is our alumni.
okay. Stella Maris. The name of the school is Stella Maris. I think there's one in Port Harcourt, but our own is Stella Maris Secondary School, Ashaka, one local village like that. The school was just like diamond in forest, that kind of
Thank
thing.
God for that diamond now. No wonder they've delivered a diamond to us in the person of Favour Aya. Fantastic journey you've had, girl. Like, it makes a lot of sense now where you're coming from and who you've become in the process of getting here. Because sometimes, make I not lie to you too. When I read your post sometimes, I'm like, how is this girl doing? I don't understand. Like, how? At 19, I'm not getting it. When some people don't know, at 34, they don't know their left to their right. Who is this girl? Who are you? What do you chop? and I've always like wanted to find out like what is it about this girl? What is it about this girl? Now I know, and it is just beautiful. Let me just plug in here like I would usually do. To parents, please, man, when they say education is the best gift you can give to your kids, it is not a lie. So please, parents, especially single moms, because now Favour here is a product of single motherhood, right? Her mom and her grandmom had to just groom her, and I think they did a fantastic job. She's still a growing child. Seriously, but let me not call you child because you be big girl now.
Still a child. I'm still a child.
Right? So they did a good job laying a solid foundation because, first of all, I love the confidence that you carry, understanding the value that you are, and showing up with that value unapologetically. Like, if any parents can build that kind of confidence in their kids, they've done a good job. So I know for Favour here, it's more like it's a combined effort. Grandma, mommy, teacher, books, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful journey that you've had up until this point. And I know, see, you have like a whole lot ahead of you, but I feel you can really pause and nod your chest and say, okay, for where I am now, I have done something, but there is more. There is more ahead. So seriously, Favour, you inspire me, and I am just here to say, well done for how far you've come. Thank you for putting yourself out there unapologetically. Thank you for being so authentic. Thank you for being so like open. Like, hey, I bet I like this. So not need to form anything. Like, it's beautiful to watch. Don't change that part of you. Don't lose your authenticity for any reason. But we're here to watch you grow. We're here to watch you bloom. We're here to watch you achieve all the lofty um ambition that you have in front of you. Sometimes when you call the figures that you want to do in a year, I'm like, hey, God, where I did, where did they groom this guy's children? But amazing. I just admire the work that you do. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. Before we wrap it up, I would love to give you a chance to just, I know you said a lot in the lessons you've learned and the things that you have shared as suggestion and advice to people, but I just want to leave you with another message. So two messages, because there are two key roles I think that played in your life. So let's talk to parents, and then let's talk to younger people who are seemingly in a less privileged environment. They feel like for them, maybe they even feel like they didn't go to the best schools, because somebody would listen to you and still say, hey, after all, you went to the best schools. So that's an advantage. Talk to somebody who feel they have no advantage at all. They don't have money. They didn't go to the best school. They are not in the correct environment. So what should they do? Talk to them.
Okay, so who should I address first?
So
Parents or
address parents and then the young ones.
okay, so for parents, hey, I would love to strongly plead to support your children because my mom's support played a very integral part of my growth. My mother was very supportive. I know that the motivation to our support was the money, but it did not still matter. It did not still matter. It did not still matter, right? Um, my mother believed that I could incorporate school and work even when I was in secondary school. I know that if it's some parents, they'll be like, no, 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 don't do it. You are still in school. But my mother trusted me. Even when I came out third, she knew that it was because of the business. But then she did not make me feel bad about it. She just told me, okay, as it has happened like this, maybe you should find a way to balance it. My mother was very supportive. But when I talk to my peers, the ones close to me, and I say, why haven't you started something? They'll be like, their parents are not in support of it. Their parents don't want them to start something while they're in school, right? And I also want to tell the people in my age group that your parents, they mean well for you, but most times they cannot actually see where you are going, right? That is where you have to be stubborn. Sometimes you have to be stubborn as a child, you know, especially if it's for the greater good. They will not understand then, but when you actually get to where you want to get to, they'll be like, ah, my pikin, but they don't know. They don't know when you've been a strong head, they do that thing, you know. Like I said, my mom was in support of my business, but my grandmother was not, because she believed in the traditional go to school, graduate and get a job. She did not believe in incorporating both school and work, because according to her, when my auntie did it, she did not end well. You know, so that kind of thing. So I want to just tell parents, support your children, get them devices if you can, just be there for them. Also make them understand that in as much as they are pursuing their passion, they still need to get that certificate from school. I don't know the use of, but they need to get it. They need to get it. They need to get the certificate from school. And then for my peers, like I said, I've had friends from all walks of life. I had a friend, um, she's not living with her parents. She was I think yes, now she was from Ivory Coast, and then she's still living with my uncle's wife. So this girl, she used to work. She lived there more like a maid, right? She went to one of the public schools here, but the girl is very smart. Like I said, I started reading, or I read half of a yellow song when I was in SS2. But that girl, I read and then gave to her. That was how hot her brain was. So at that particular point, sorry, like I said, she used to work from 5 in the morning. She sweep the house and everything, and then go to school by 7, come back from school by 4. So more like she had almost no time for herself. In that situation, let me tell you what that girl did. When she came back from school by 4, she would go and open my auntie's shop, right? In that shop, that was where she read books. That was where we talked about things. So more like in that situation, if it was like another person, that person would be exhausted and so tired to even do another thing. But if I'm to meet with her again at that particular point, I'll tell her that okay, how much time do you spend here in the shop? Let's say 4 hours, right? So that 4 hours, you can actually use it to start something up for yourself. I also believe that going to a good school is important, but it all boils down to your mindset. I see me that was going to an expensive school. Me and this guy, we used to banter. We used to banter words. At some point, I was like, who this girl from home? You know? So the school helped me, but like that girl, I'm using that girl as an example now, right? She did further research, because in that public school, they did not teach them too much as they used to teach us in my own school, right? So go the extra mile. Like I said, life is unfair. There are some people that will have it all. Good, wealthy parents, good platform and all of that. There are some people that will have nothing, but people still come out from that nothing to get something done for themselves. So the first step is to tell yourself that you have no excuse. Stop pitying yourself, you know. Don't be your own bad part. Stop pitying yourself. Stop pitying yourself, because if you hear some people's story, you'll be like, oh, I'm privileged. Ahead. So that's just it basically. So for the parents, learn to support your children. Stop shouting for them if you are seeing that they are doing something to actually better their life. Stop telling them that it's not the right time. How do you know the right time? Just support them. Support them. And for my peers, you don't have any excuse. You don't have any
Wow.
excuse. Try
Wow.
and find something to do, because this life is unfair, like I said. Life does not care if you have suffered for the last 20 years and then they will come and pay you for your suffering. And like that's not how life is. So that is what I have to say.
Fantastic. It's just been a sheer pleasure speaking to you, Favour. Thank you so much for coming and just, making me laugh so much. And I had fun with this conversation. So, guys, I believe that you have learned a thing or two. And something tells me that you have questions. Like, you did not ask enough questions. EJ, you did not ask enough questions. So let me tell you this. If you get back to me, if you give me a feedback, whether by typing a comment in the video or answering the question on Spotify, if you listen to the audio version on Spotify, if you engage with me and tell me, please bring Favour back, right? Then I would arrange for a special session that you can come and you can ask her questions. We'll just have a Q&A session, right? Where you can come and ask her, because I just have a feeling like somebody is watching, like, I don't understand this girl, 19 years old. No. I have more questions. Right? So if you are that person, just reach out to me, send me a DM, comment in the comment section, like, we want Favour back. We want a Q&A session with Favour, and we're going to make it happen, because I see that I think she's worked herself up to that point where she's a person of impact naturally. So she's happy to share. She's happy to answer your questions, but if you ask, I'll make it happen. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. It's been a pleasure. You can see I can't even stop smiling. I've had a great time in this conversation today. Again, Favour, God bless you. Keep being amazing, keep winning, and keep impacting life positively. All right? Until I come your way again next week, remember, you can support the work that I do here by buying me a cup of coffee using the link in the description, or you can become a Patreon by just supporting me every month with a certain amount of donation. And there are benefits that comes with that. You can read all about it with the link that says Patreon. And also, of course, I'm going to include the link to Favour's LinkedIn account so that you can see the amazing work this girl is doing. This girl has millions of searches in a month. Like, what? She's amazing. She has over 60,000 followers on LinkedIn. Ha! Okay. Anyway, check her out using the link in the description. Connect with her on LinkedIn. Go through her course. She has a course, and that can help you, get more out of LinkedIn. All right. You want to jump on that as well and just, have fun with that. But if you want her to be back, tell me about it and I'll make it happen. Till I come your way again, remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel and to the audio platforms where you listen to podcasts on. This is the Energetic EJ. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you for watching today's episode. I really do hope that you found it valuable. All right. If you did, please visit us again next week when we will put out another episode. In case you forgot at the beginning or at the middle, now is a good time to click on the subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you don't get to miss any of our episodes. All right. Till we come your way again next week, remember also to read the description of this video for any links that might be there that would help you or also help you support the work that we do here. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.